Work was being undertaken to reline a grinding mill in the ore processing plant at North Parkes Mine on 4th April 2023. A practice had been developed where the tops of used IBCs were removed to store and transport waste. A reciprocating saw was typically used for this, although an angle grinder was sometimes used instead. The angle grinder generated more heat and was more likely to cause sparks. A forklift operator moved a used IBC from a storage area to an open area of the processing plant. The IBC hadn't been washed and still contained hazardous chemical residue. The hazardous chemicals safety data sheet and label on the IBC indicated it was corrosive but not flammable. The safety data sheet incorrectly listed the chemical's flash point as 130.9 degrees Celsius, when it was actually below 18 degrees Celsius. A forklift operator asked a worker to take an angle grinder to the IBC so he could cut the top off it. The forklift operator left the area temporarily, and the worker decided to use the angle grinder to remove the IBC's top. The worker cut 2 metal straps and a section on the top of the IBC. Vapors from inside the IBC reacted with heat or sparks produced by the angle grinder. The force and heat of the reaction caused the worker to move a short distance back. He felt a burning sensation on his chest through his shirt, but did not see any flames, smoke, or hear any ignition sounds. The forklift operator and another worker responded and removed the injured worker's shirt. The injured worker suffered full-thickness burns to his right upper arm, caused by exposure to a flame, and underwent various medical procedures, including a skin graft. The worker also suffered less serious burns to other areas of his body. The resources regulator investigated the incident and found a number of potential causes. Various factors contributed to the worker being exposed to the risk of serious injury or death, including no testing or analysis was undertaken by the overseas manufacturer, importer, or supplier of the chemical, or mine operator to determine the chemical's composition and flash point. No warning was included on the IBC label regarding the chemical's flammability. Neither the mine operator or the contractor undertook a risk assessment and developed a safe work procedure. The safety data sheet instruction prohibiting the reuse of the IBCs, except when refilling with the same chemical, was not followed by the mine operator or contractor. The regulator has made a number of recommendations for duty holders, including importers and suppliers of hazardous chemicals must carry out analysis, testing or examination that may be necessary to ensure hazardous chemicals are without risk to health and safety. Provide adequate information to people who are exposed to hazardous chemicals. Mine operators and contractors must ensure the storage, use and disposal of hazardous chemicals, including the containers they are housed in, are the subject of an adequate risk assessment. Provide contractors and workers with appropriate information, instruction and training relating to undertaking risk assessments. Ensure that containers with residual combustible and/or flammable substances are rendered safe by cleaning and then punctured or crushed. Workers must conduct appropriate risk assessments before handling or being exposed to hazardous chemicals. Refer to and consider safety data sheets when undertaking tasks involving the use, handling or storage of hazardous chemicals. Be aware that hazardous chemicals and related vapors that are not classified as flammable may ignite upon contact with a heat source. To read all the causes and recommendations identified in this report, visit the New South Wales Resources website.